Hello and welcome to my third tutorial for Setons, and this time it's gonna be for the rock positioner. So, as usual, I'm gonna first explain some basics about the positioner, then I go into the build order, explain why I'm doing it, what I'm doing, and yeah, this will take a little while, so the rock position is a kinda people like to call it the OP position because you actually have a high advantage against your opponent. So you have 18 maxes if you combine these maxes, which are said to be yours. So these are yours. For the other rock position, it's the same. These are yours. So it's always 18 versus 12, 18 versus 12. So same as here, 18 versus 12. And that means literally you have 50% more mass against the beach player, but on the contrary, you have to get the island. If you think about it, you have a start position with 30 maxes, and the island are 5, so you've combined 18. But like I said, you have to go for the island to actually get these 5 maxes. That's a kinda another advantage the rock has. If he wants to get the island, he needs to build power early on to get a transport, secure the island, and stuff. More to that later. And you also have these 6 rocks, each worth in average 150 mass. And so basically 150 times 6 is around 900 mass. That's a lot, especially in the early game. My build order actually focuses on these two rocks first, because I have a little mass stall, and I'm grabbing these 4 after the mid reclaim. So more to the explanation of the position later when we are in game, because there's a lot of things you have to do. So my build order is kinda different from what most people use. I place my factory here, do the same as beach, 2 maxes first, then follow 3 pigeons, 2 maxes, 4 pigeons. So I built 7 pigeons, and then I queue up the air factory. That's actually a normal air build for any map you can use, or land build, or land or air. It actually doesn't matter, because if you want to go second air, you do it like this, if you don't have the hydro nearby. That's another thing I want to talk about before I actually go into the build order even further. There is a difference between the north, which is this, North Rock, and South Rock. It said Team North, Team South, that's why North Rock, South Rock. As you can see, the hydro is pretty far away from this position, so it's not really efficient to go for the hydro with your commander or with early engineers because of the distance. On South Rock it's actually different, because the hydro is really close. You could go with it for the commander, but it's more efficient to go for it with engineers. My build orders for both positions are kinda similar, but not the same, due to the fact that I'm going for this one with engineers earlier with the hydro. You also can see that because of the max. Here's the max here, and the hydro is behind it. And here's the max here, and the hydro is in front of it. So basically, if they would be the same, the hydro would be placed like here. And that's, like, if you can see, like 1/3 of like 50% more distance. So okay, let's continue with the build order. As usual, I only queue up engineers from my land factory first. Let's speed things a little bit up. So what I'm always doing is on rock is I assist with my first engineer, my ACU, to build the pigeons, because the thing is, note that we have NG, I can show you. To make the hydro, it costs you 1 minute 20 for 100 power, so it's 5 times the pigeons. That's 5 pigeons. And 5 pigeons would cost you 125 seconds, so it's actually faster to make the hydro in terms of time. So you wanna assist the pigeons so you can actually challenge the beach who has a really close hydro. So spam pigeons really fast. I'm just leaving this one on assist. It's pretty simple because, I mean, it idles a little bit because until it gets here to build a max, the ACU already built it, but later on it will help building these 4 pigeons. My next engineer actually goes towards the hydro, grabs some reclaims to fix my power. Like, I mean, you don't need to make it like me, and don't overdo it with the on my build at least, don't overdo it with the reclaim of trees. Just go for the max and the hydro. It's just to boost a little bit your power. It's not really necessary, but it's really helpful. So as you can see, it will idle a little bit, like, I can just move it like here. And the thing is, with my third engineer, I actually assist my ACU again because I wanna rush, literally, the air factory. My fourth engineer actually needs to go for the trees, for the rocks, because you will need the power. What I'm doing as well is, I'm going reclaim 2s to rocks, make the max here, and build up an radar here. Because as you can see, the radar covers this entire area here, and so you pretend actually your transport from getting sniped. Also, I move it like move command here, and then attack command so that it will reclaim all these trees. I'm a little paused because I'm a little bit delayed. The next thing is, for a rock you have 2 different kind of builds how to take the island. It's not really different kind of builds, but it's different kind of strategies. So I'm more the one who secures the island with interceptors first, and then goes for them with a transport. Some do like to rush the actual transport first, and then make interceptors, but it's kind of risky if your transport gets sniped, so I like the safe version of it. But it really depends on your opponent and so on. If you know, for example, your opponent is a defensive player on beach, you can make 2 scouts first and then the transport, and just scout where his interceptors are and rush the transport in. Or you do it like me and make a lot of interceptors to secure the island, which is, in my opinion, easier because people like to snipe the transport, to be honest. So next thing is, you want to assist the air factory a little bit with at least 2 engineers. The next engineer which comes out of your factory is an assist with this one because you want to build a hydro. And you can also, and the other one who comes after this one, assists ACU in building more power. Because of the rocks, you have the mass to actually spend it in power. So what I'm doing is the same as with the air factory on beach. I'm making 2 scouts, 3 interceptors, 1 scout, 2 interceptors. Place move command here and let them patrol like that. Because you covered this area with incoming interceptors and scouts, but you need to cover this area, these areas here, to defend against an actually rush for the island from beach. So let's continue again. So I'm kinda low on energy for now, but it's stable, as you can see. I'm not going down to 0, but no, okay, no, I did go down to 0. So just go for a little bit more trees before you go for the hydro, and you can kind of fix it again. So the next engineer you want to send to actually grab these 4 maxes and build factories down here, so you have units to defend against the rush. You want to assist it because a single engineer is kinda weak to build factories and to assist it. And now we need to slow down the game again. I only stall actually power in at the moment due to the fact that I have mass still in storage. So around minute 3 again, 245 to 3. You have mid-mass incoming again. Like I said, around 1,000 in the previous replay, so I'm gonna be like grab, because it's not constantly coming in. It's constantly coming in more likely, and not just boom, you have 1,000 mass in storage. No, it just slightly fills up because SU needs to walk to different kind of reclaims, but more to this in another tutorial. So let's speed up again. Now you want new engineers. You want to grab these 3 maxes. There's 1 engineer actually enough. You can do more, but you don't really need to. So now you see mass incoming, and what you want to do on rock is you want to upgrade the maxes with the most pigeons around first. So due to my build order, I kind of broke the trees in this area here really hard. So since I already assigned engineers to grab all the maxes on my main island, you put the move command with the shift mouse drag here, because here the trees are not broken and you want to reclaim this field of trees really fast. So another thing is, I'm building with the engineers I have here, like 1 more land factory and 1 more air factory. But I'll spam out of both factories only engineers. I make another air factory just in case I need to spam more air if the enemy beach player goes really hard for air. So you see, I've enough power due to the hydro being built and enough pigeons, so I upgrade more maxes. I can afford at least 2 more maxes to be upgraded at the same time. So let's just see. Now you kind of have scouts here and interceptors quite a lot already, so just send 1 scout straight to the enemy beach base where the hydro is, because he either builds his air factory in the main base or at the hydro. Just send it to the hydro, because then you cover the main base, the main start maxes, and the and the air and the hydro, and then just go like this if you don't see a thing. And now if you don't see the actual air factory or transport coming in, you want to stop what you're building, make a transport, and go get sorry, and go for the actually hydro for the island with a transport. So now mass is kind of over. You focus on finishing these maxes, and what you can do is now as well is go for the 4 more rocks, because on my rocks build I usually stall mass a little bit because I really build a lot of power, but that's fine. Now you have 4 more rocks you can grab to upgrade your maxes even faster. So now you have to transport. You want to queue up again the same thing, and yeah, what you also can do is place and scout a little bit here, so your transport gets not. What I'm doing is also I'm going with the for the island with a transport and 3 engineers. I hate idling engineers. So I use 3 incoming, and 3 is kinda my magic number, because then it takes you only 20 seconds to build actually a land factory. And I like to, I mean, you can go with more for the island, but I just like it because it makes my build being like a little bit optimized. Yeah. So now I still have a lot of mass, and it's due to them grabbing the rocks, so I upgrade more maxes. And please don't forget upgrading maxes. So what I want to talk about now, before I go even further into the rock build, people like to rush, so don't get put under pressure. If you get put under pressure, keep a calm mind, analyze the situation, and defend against it properly. Sometimes you need to pause making echo if your opponent puts everything into the rush. Then you put everything into the rush. You try to win the rush, because if you get the reclaim, which he gets when he which leaves you when he rushes, and you win, you can make a really good economy from it usually. So, but for now, you should never forget to build max more eco. So let's continue again. So I put this one with attack move again here, so it reclaims. Good. And now I'm about to finish my factories down here and build engineers for them, reclaim attack move out of them as usual, as you know from other replays as well. Same with these factories, and same goes with actually this factory. Kinda, but it's different. So what I'm doing now is I go first for a factory and a raider. From the factory, attack move out of the factory, one engineer, one aurora, no, one lab, two RTs, two more engineers. You want to mainly build engineers, but at least some labs and RTs to defend the island if teacher wants to drop them. So what I'm also doing is I upgrade these maxes with my commander on assist all the time, so it goes faster. But you'll soon see that due to the reclaim and a lot of maxes, you can start upgrading another max. What I'm doing now is I assist it with 6 engineers, because I want to upgrade them as fast as possible. But this number 6 is just my thing with upgrading maxes. They don't stop each other from upgrading and so on. What I also like to do is, you know, I'm about to finish this one. It's an 80%. Still have enough mass left. I assist it before I idle with this engineer. I assist it on this max and upgrade it. It's a little bit slow, but you don't have to put too much micro in it, so you can just do it like that. So now I finished my factory and my raider, and I want to grab all the maxes on the island. And keep on scouting your opponent. Really important, all the time, scout your opponent, what he's doing. I mean, now, since my ACU is idling, I can put it on assist on the air factory to get more air, because I love to have a lot of air on rock, because air superiority gives you a little advantage. Actually not a little, actually a really good advantage against your opponent. And keep adjusting the reclaim with drag, left mouse click, and keep on upgrading your maxes. So now you see I kinda stall E because of having so much mass. So just build a little bit more pigeons. It doesn't hurt you, as rockets for especially. And look, so now we are around minute 7. Around minute 7 you could actually go, if you see your opponent goes navy, go navy as well, or just make torp launcher and a navy factory, and you're for now secure if he rushes you a little bit. Oh. So now you see my power kind of power struggle because I underbuilt power. You can also just put these 2 engineers on assist on the commander to build more power, but it's mainly due to the fact that I have so much mass. And like these 2 maxes, I just upgrade them on assist with this 1 engineer and let them go through No, I can't. No, I don't have mass, and I kind of fixed my power again. I mean, it's okay if it jumps down, up and down like it does on my screen, as long as you have power in storage. And always keep upgrading your maxes. What you can also do is, like, no, you have there a lot of engineers, just upgrade this max. You have here a lot of engineer, you can also upgrade this max. But do me a favor, you can do one max on upgrade, like as a second max, but keep your main focus on upgrading max after max after max. So if you have this situation like now, which I have, that I'm upgrading here max and here, pause these engineers on assist and just let it go on its own. So you focus the main max income you have on this max, and you see as you finish it really fast, then you can unpause these again. It's a little bit micro intensive, but it really pays itself off. So around minute 9 you'll get a lot of power due to the fact the player makes res or finished res. So around minute 9 I have 20 more seconds left, so I can get exactly one more or two more mass extractors finished to Tech 2, so actually rush for them and finish them. So I kinda know I have a lot of build power here walking there, so I can finish it before before the air player finishes its res, and then I can go res at around this time. Yeah, so around now I would go for my res, and I would pause this max, for example. Or as long as I have mass, I maybe wouldn't. It actually depends a lot on micro, but in general, if it's close to be done, finish it. But if it's still like 10%, don't finish it. So around now, when you go res, let's say at this time you go res, then you have 85 mass income per second with a commander who needs 5,000 mass for the res, because the energy you actually get it thanks to the air player. And if you think about it, 5,000 divided by 85 is around 60 seconds if you're good. So you could do the rest in 60 seconds if you don't power stall. And with me having 1k mass in storage, I can do it even faster. So that's pretty much everything I have to say for the beginning of the basic rock build. And I'll make another one for front next. And then, if you like my tutorials and if you think they are useful, don't subscribe, but you know, give me a comment. Okay, if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. But what I wanted to say is, give me a comment that you like them or not. Give me feedback. Tell me what I could do better, and so on, so that I at least know that you like them or not, so I can make more and spend my time in actually making more, if it's helpful for you. Because if you say no, it's not helpful, I know that I shouldn't. I can spend my time in better things to do for myself. So please let me know. And thank you for watching the tutorial again, and I hope you have fun next time you play Rockspot.